Dear students, in the last class we have studied the alcohols and their nomenclature, how to name the compounds. Now you'll go for the structure of the groups, nothing but structure of functional group. In alcohols, the oxygen of the OH, so this is the alcohol, methanol and phenol, ether we have, OH. And this oxygen of OH, this undergoes sp3 hybridization, and carbon also here undergoes what? sp3 hybridization. And there is a carbon oxygen bond is sigma bond. Carbon oxygen bond is sigma bond, and oxygen undergoes sp3 hybridization, and carbon also undergoes what? sp3 hybridization. Since it is sp3 hybridization, the expected shape or expected geometry of the molecule is tetrahedral at an angle of 109.5 degree. But in the structure, we can see the bond angle is 108.9 degree. That means which is less than the normal expected 109.5 degree. Why this? That is the study of the structure of functional group. Why the bond angle which deviates from the expected normal tetrahedral bond angle, since oxygen atom of the alcohol, phenol or ether which undergoes what? sp3 hybridization. Expected sp3 hybridization means expected bond angle is 109.5, but here present is 108.9 degree. Why? See, in oxygen, there are two lone pair of electrons on it. Every oxygen which contains two lone pair, either in alcohol, phenol, or ether. And that lone pair of electrons, and there are two bond pair of electrons also present. So one oxygen with the hydrogen, this is one bond pair. Oxygen with the carbon, this is another bond pair. Therefore, two bond pair and two lone pair of electrons present. But according to VS EPR theory, we have studied that the repulsion between lone pair is greater than lone pair bond pair, which is greater than bond pair bond pair. Since there are two lone pair of electrons present here, this repulsion is maximum when you compare the repulsion between this lone pair and bond pair, lone pair and bond pair. But this is bulky group. CH3 is bulky group. One hand we have what? Hydrogen. This repulsion is slightly greater than, that means greater than the lone pair and this methyl bond pair, this bond pair. So due to this repulsion between the lone pair is greater than lone pair bond pair, the bond angle is reduced from expected normal 109.5 to 108.9 degree. Similarly, even in the phenol, one side we have ring, benzene ring, nothing but what? Phenyl group. This group, which is more bulky, therefore this repulsion is quite less when compared to this methyl group. Hence the bond angle is 109 degree, slightly less than the expected normal tetrahedral. But in ethers, both the sides we can find bulky groups. Methoxymethane, the bulky group. One side we have methyl, other side also we have methyl. The repulsion between bond pair, lone pair, and bond pair and lone pair. And here also repulsion, lone pair repulsion is there. But due to the presence of bulky group, the repulsion is slightly less. Hence the bond angle which is greater than the normal 109.5 degree. It is found as 111.7 degree. Here remember, the bond angle in methoxymethane is greater than expected normal tetrahedral because the presence of bulky group makes the repulsion of lone pair is quite less. Quite less. These are the structures. These are the structures of alcohol, phenol, and ether. I repeat, the structure of the alcohol, phenol, and methoxymethane. Both oxygen and carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization. In phenol, oxygen undergoes sp3, but carbon is sp2. But here same both are sp3 sp3. Here the oxygen, since it is sp3, the bond angle is found to be 109.5 degree is expected, but in alcohol it is present, it means in methanol it is present 108.9 degree. That is due to the repulsion between lone pair of electron is quite greater than the lone pair bond pair. Similarly, in phenols, the repulsion is slightly less due to the process of bulky phenyl ring. Here, due to the process of both bulky group, the repulsion of lone pair is slightly less. That's why the bond angle increased from 109.5 to 111.7. In phenols, the OH group is attached to sp2 hybridized carbon of an aromatic ring. The carbon-oxygen bond length is 136. In phenol, it is slightly less than that in the methanol. This is due to a partial double bond character on account of the conjugation of unshared electron pair of oxygen with aromatic ring. That means in phenol, oxygen contains lone pair, and that lone pair of electron undergoes delocalization over the ring because there is conjugation. Due to delocalization, which undergoes what? Resonance. Due to resonance, there is a carbon-oxygen bond forms what? Partial double bond character. Partial double bond character. Hence, the bond length decreases when compared to alcohol. In ethers, 4 electron pairs, the 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs of electrons on oxygen are arranged approximately in a tetrahedral arrangement. The bond angle is slightly greater than the tetrahedral angle due to the repulsive interaction between the two bulky groups. The carbon-oxygen bond length is 141 picometer, is almost same as in the alcohols. Just here bond length, if you want to remember alcohols, especially phenols, there is carbon and oxygen have bond length slightly less than that of alcohol and ether, because in phenol there is due to the resonance. The lone pair of electrons on the oxygen undergo resonance. Next, we can move on to the main part of the alcohol, how to prepare. Nothing but preparation of alcohols. There are number of ways we have to prepare the alcohols. We'll go one by one. First one, preparation from alkenes. Dear students, here one point you try to remember, that one is preparation of alcohol from alkenes. Nothing but alkenes are converted into alcohols. Another question we have, dehydration of alcohol. Two mechanisms are there, more and very, very important for the examination. Let us go for the preparation of alcohol. That is first one from alkenes. By acid catalyzed hydration. You know, alkenes. Alkenes means the hydrocarbon which contain at least one carbon-carbon double bond, and more than that any number of double bonds may present. Alkenes react with water in the presence of acid such as sulfuric acid, which act as a catalyst to form alcohols. In case of unsymmetrical means we know from double bond, either side of the double bond there must be different number of carbon atoms, then they are called as what? Unsymmetrical alkenes. The addition reaction takes place in accordance with the Markovnikov rule. You have to remember Markovnikov rule here. What is the Markovnikov rule says? When a compound containing both positive and negative group, then the negative group is added to doubly bonded carbon atom containing least number of hydrogen. That is the Markovnikov rule. According to that, we have to follow. What Markovnikov rule says? When we have to add a compound containing both positive and negative part, such as HBr or HCl. In HCl, H plus Cl minus. Cl minus is the negative part. HOH, H plus OH minus. Like that, which contains both positive and negative part. Then the negative part is added to doubly bonded carbon atom, containing least number of hydrogens. According to that rule we have to follow when we are going to add the water to unsymmetrical alkene. In symmetrical, we have no problem. Wherever you add the OH group, that is one and the same will get the product. Example, you can say alkene. We are going to add said water, that is H2O. Since it is symmetrical, any of the carbon atoms you can add OH group, then definitely other carbon atom is added to uh, hydrogen, because H2O breaks to give what? H plus and OH minus. In presence of acid, H plus, one of the carbon atom is added to H and other carbon atom is added OH. That results in what? Alcohol. This is alcohol. This type of reaction is called acid catalyzed hydration. Nothing but what? Water molecule is added to alkenes. This is called acid catalyzed hydration. This is very important. This is another case. Unsymmetrical alkene. Why it is unsymmetrical? One side you can find only one carbon atom, other side we have two. Therefore, this is unsymmetrical alkene, and we have to add water to it in the process of acid medium. No, we cannot add wherever we want because unsymmetrical. Here we have to follow Markovnikov rule. What the rule says? Which contains both positive and negative, H plus OH minus. So OH minus we have to add. To which carbon we have to add? The rule says doubly bonded carbon atom containing least number of hydrogen. Here one carbon atom contains one hydrogen, other containing two hydrogen. Therefore, we have to add what? The carbon containing least number of hydrogen. Here we have to add OH, then other carbon added to hydrogen. That's why in unsymmetrical alkenes we have to follow Markovnikov rule, but in symmetrical, however you add by breaking double bond. Mechanism. A very important mechanism here. How the process takes place. This involves three steps. The reaction involves three steps. Step 1. Protonation of alkene to form carbocation by electrophilic attack of H3O+. That means in the first step, acid, that means H plus, combines with water, gives H3O plus hydronium ion. Now this H3O plus, which is going to attack alkene, H3O plus. Here you can see double bond. This double bond is going to attack the proton and this shift here. We just observe, say double bond takes proton and this bond shifts to oxygen. This bond breaks and shifts to oxygen. So water molecule separates out, and here this carbon atom which gains proton, then other carbon atom definitely loses. Therefore, that carbon atom becomes what? Positive. This is called as carbocation. That's why the step 1 is called formation of carbocation. Formation of carbocation. How it is formed? It is by the protonation of alkene. Protonation of alkene. From what? Electrophilic attack of H2O plus. Here, very clear here. Very important. First step is formation of carbocation. How carbocation is formed? Alkene takes the proton and the OH bond breaks and water molecule goes there. In the second step, nucleophilic attack of water on carbocation. Nucleophilic means containing what? Negative charge or lone pair of electrons. Once a carbocation is formed, now that attacks the OH, the lone pair of electron present here, that attacks what? The carbocation. That attacks the carbocation. You have to observe. Lone pair of electron attacks the carbocation. That is the second step. Nucleophilic attack of water on carbocation. The nucleophile means negative charge or lone pair of electrons. Here the lone pair of electrons on oxygen which attacks the carbocation and which results in an intermediate. Now the last step is deprotonation. Deprotonation to form an alcohol. Deprotonation. How deprotonation takes place? You can say this proton, this proton is taken up by water molecule, the lone pair of electrons, which takes this proton and the bond shift to oxygen, which results in, you can say lone pair of electron, which takes the proton and this bond breaks and goes to oxygen, which separates the alcohol with H3O plus. That's what is used in the first step. This is the mechanism of formation of alcohol. Very, very important. I repeat, mechanism of hydration of alkene involves three steps. Step 1, protonation of alkene to form carbocation. Here, alkene attacks the proton and bond breaks to form carbocation. Carbon containing positive charge is called carbocation. Now, the nucleophile attack, second step is nucleophile attack of water on carbocation. The lone pair of electrons on the oxygen attacks the carbocation and forms an intermediate. And the last step, deprotonation to form an alcohol. Here what would happen? The OA water molecule which takes the proton and the intermediate containing proton which loses, therefore that process is called deprotonation. Loss of proton from the intermediate is called deprotonation, which results in what? Alcohol. Which results in alcohol. Remember, very, very important mechanism. Now the second method, by hydroboration oxidation. Here diborane is used. What is diborane? B2H6, or it's also can be written as BH3 twice, because B2H6, B2, 3 into 6, therefore it is B2H6 is called diborane. Reacts with alkenes to give trialkyl boranes, which gives what? At the end, trialkyl boranes as addition product. This trialkyl borane is oxidized to alcohol by hydrogen peroxide in the presence of what? Sodium hydroxide. Once we get trialkyl borane, which further undergoes oxidation, Oxidation to alcohol in the presence of sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide. The addition of borane to the double bond takes place. It's very, very important. We have diborane, B2H6, where to attack? Because diborane going to attack what? Alkenes. Where to attack? See, borane to the double bond takes place in such a manner that boron atom gets attached to sp2 carbon carrying greater number of hydrogen atoms. Because in double bond, there is a possibility. First step, okay, if alkene is symmetrical, in the first step we have same number of hydrogen, but in next step, second step, the number of hydrogen atoms must be different. In such case, where the boron atom has to be added, which should be added to the sp2 carbon atom. That means carbon atom must be double bond, contain greater number of hydrogen atoms. We just observe here. This is alkene. Here one carbon atom contains two hydrogen, other one contains what? Only one, since it is unsymmetrical. Symmetrical means we can add any of the carbon atom because both contain same number. In the case of unsymmetrical, since there are two different number of hydrogen atoms to sp2 carbon atom, here this is also sp2, here also sp2, you have to add boron atom to either this carbon or this carbon, but the rule says containing more number of hydrogen. Say diborane, here it is B2H6, and boron has to be attached. Where to attach? We have to attach according to the rule more number of hydrogen atom. The sp2, nothing but W bonded carbon atom only. containing more number of hydrogen, there you have to add what? Boron. The other one you have to add what? Hydrogen. Next, further adding the alkene. In next step, one more hydrogen. The first step, out of three hydrogens, one of the hydrogens have to remove. In the next, we have two more hydrogens, so they undergo substitution. You can observe here, it undergoes substitution. Therefore, two molecules of propyl, that means two molecules of alkyl group formed here by removing one of the hydrogen. Therefore, one more hydrogen is left there. In the next step, one more propene attacks and which results in tri. First step, one of the hydrogens removed, therefore it is mono, and here it is dialkyl. Now this is trialkyl because there are three alkyl groups are attached to boron. This is the intermediate form in the first step set. Boron, diboron undergoes addition with the alkene, and trialkyl. Since the boron is attached with the three hydrogens, all the three hydrogens have substituted by three alkyl groups. Therefore, trialkyl boron is formed. Now, this trialkyl boron, which undergoes oxidation in the presence of hydrogen peroxide, and sodium hydroxide. Hydrogen peroxide H2O2 and sodium hydroxide, which results in alcohol. So propane 1 mole. This is the second method of preparation of alcohol by hydroboration. Remember here, in unsymmetrical alkene, when diboron is added, the boron atom is added to sp2 hybrid carbon atom containing more number of hydrogens. That's one of the conditions to remember. Very, very important condition. Next, this is the side product formula here. Next, we can move on to the alcohol. So formed looks as it has been formed by the addition of water to alkene in a way opposite to the Markovnikov rule. Here, according to the Markovnikov rule, when you add water, then the OH group is attached to that carbon atom containing least number. Therefore, OH must be attached to the here. But here you can find the OH is attached to the highest number of carbon atom. Therefore, hydroboration is the just like anti-Markovnikov rule. Now, from carbonyl compounds, you know carbonyl. Carbonyl compound means which contains C double bond O. Example, either aldehydes or ketones. Either aldehydes or ketones are the main carbonyl compounds. Aldehydes and ketones are reduced to corresponding alcohols by addition of hydrogen in the presence of catalyst like palladium or nickel. There is also called catalytic hydrogenation. So it is also prepared by treating aldehydes and ketones with sodium borohydride, or lithium aluminum hydride. Aldehydes yield primary alcohols, whereas ketone gives what? Secondary alcohols. This is one of the very, very important questions for your higher level examination. Conversion from aldehydes to alcohol, ketones to alcohol. Always remember gives secondary alcohol, and aldehydes gives what? Primary alcohol. Aldehyde. You know aldehyde? Any organic compound, if it contains CHO, is the functional group. Those compounds are called aldehydes. When aldehydes undergo reduction nothing but what? Addition of hydrogen in the presence of catalyst such as palladium or nickel catalyst. Here, addition of hydrogen reduction takes place to give what? Alcohols. That it means, since it is aldehyde, which results in what? Primary alcohol. The OH group is attached to primary carbon atom. Example, you can see acetaldehyde undergoes reduction in the presence of same palladium catalyst, which gives ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. Instead, if we take ketone, RCO R dash, R is alkyl or aryl group, undergoes reduction in the presence of sodium borohydride or lithium aluminum hydride, which gives RCHOH. You can say RCHOH. The OH group is attached to CH group. Nothing but what? This is secondary. CH, OH, and acetone, which gives what? The secondary alcohol. CH3, CHOH, and CH3. Here, propane 2-volt or isopropyl alcohol. Acetone gives isopropyl alcohol or propane 2-volt. This is preparation from carbonyl compounds. Students, remember carbonyl, especially aldehydes or ketones, are used for the preparation of alcohols. Either aldehydes or ketones which undergoes reduction, nothing but addition of hydrogen in the process of catalyst like palladium or nickel or sodium borohydride, lithium aluminum hydride also used to give respective alcohols. Aldehydes gives primary alcohol, ketones gives secondary alcohol. Next, by the reduction of carboxylic acids and esters. Once again, these are also carbonyl compounds only. Carboxylic acids are reduced to primary alcohols in excellent yield by lithium aluminum hydride, a strong reducing agent. Say carboxylic acid RCOH and lithium aluminum hydride, which gives primary alcohol, which gives what? Primary alcohol. They are acetic acid undergoes reduction in the presence of lithium aluminum hydride, which gives ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. Commercially, acids are reduced to alcohols by converting them to esters, followed by their reduction using hydrogen in the process of catalyst. This is what industrially using methods. Acids, when they are treated with the alcohols, which convert into ester. Ester means what? RCOO, or by losing water. RCOO and R. One OH group here and one hydrogen, they convert into water. With the loss of water, it forms what? Ester, which undergo reduction in the process of a suitable catalyst. Use primary alcohol. This is commercially taking method to get what? Better yield. And alcohol separates out. Example, acetic acid in the presence of methyl alcohol, which gives methyl acetate, which is on reduction, which converts into ethyl alcohol with the separation of methanol. This is the reduction of carboxylic acid and esters. Remember, both acids and esters, they undergo reduction in the presence of strong reducing agents such as lithium aluminum hydride, converts into primary alcohols. Now, from Grignard reagent. What is Grignard reagent? In simple formula, we can say RMgX, where R is either alkyl or aryl group, Mg is magnesium, where X is halide. The combination of alkyl magnesium halide or aryl magnesium halide. In general, we can say what? RMgX is called as what? Grignard reagent. Here, alcohols are produced by the reaction of Grignard reagent with aldehydes and ketones. First step of the reaction is the nucleophilic addition of Grignard reagent to the carbonyl group to form an adduct. That means intermediate carbonyl. Here, what would happen? RMgX. So just observe RMgX. The alkyl group attacks here, and an alkyl group which attacks carbonyl carbon, the double bond shifted to oxygen. So oxygen carries negative charge, which takes what? MgX. R group goes to carbonyl carbon, and the pi bond shifts to oxygen. Now R goes here, so double bond breaks. O becomes negative. and negative charge which carries what? You can see here. Negative charge which carries what? Mgx. Which carries what? Mgx. That is intermediate. And further on hydrolysis, while adding water, which breaks H plus and OH minus, this H plus, since it is O minus, which takes what? H plus, and OH goes with what? MgX, and resulting in alcohols. Resulting in alcohols. That is the preparation from Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent attacks carbonyl group, where alkyl or aryl group that attacks to carbonyl uh, carbon, and pi bond shift to the oxygen, which gives an adduct, which on hydrolysis gives what? Alcohol. Which on hydrolysis gives alcohol. For example, acetaldehyde on reaction with the methyl magnesium bromide. Now this methyl group attacks carbonyl carbon, and this shift here gives an adduct, and on hydrolysis which results in tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol with magnesium OH bromide. This is the preparation from what? Grignard reagent. The overall reactions using different aldehydes and ketones as follows. When formaldehyde is used, it is a very, very important reaction for your higher level exams. When formaldehyde reacts with the Grignard reagent, which results in primary alcohol, the formaldehyde R combines with the formaldehyde RCH2O, and which results in what? Primary alcohol. Higher aldehydes, where R, such as CH3, alkyl or aryl groups, that means higher aldehydes, they combine with the Grignard reagent and gives secondary alcohols. Remember, secondary. A OH group attached to the carbon atom, that carbon atom is attached with the two other carbon atoms, therefore it is secondary, and the alcohol is called secondary alcohol. Remember, higher aldehyde results in secondary alcohol. Formaldehyde gives primary alcohol. Higher aldehyde results secondary alcohol. Instead, if you use ketone, combines with the Grignard reagent, adduct is formed. Now, since from the adduct itself, we can predict the product. On hydrolysis, H attacks here, and the carbon atom is attached with the three other carbon atoms. Therefore, this is tertiary, and therefore, which results in what? Tertiary alcohol. Remember, students, and it is very, very important part of conversion from aldehyde ketones to alcohol. Formaldehyde results in primary alcohol. Higher aldehyde results in secondary alcohol, and ketones gives tertiary alcohol. Ketones gives tertiary alcohols. Next, we can move on to the physical properties. Simple alcohols and phenols consist of two parts, that is an alkyl or aryl group and a hydroxyl group. Properties of alcohols and phenols are chiefly due to what? The presence of hydroxyl group. That means OH, which decides the physical property. What is the physical property? Either it is while there is a difference between physical property and chemical property. In physical property, while measuring property, its chemical composition does not change. In chemical property, while doing or while measuring its property, its chemical composition changes. That's the difference between physical and chemical. In physical property, we are going to study mainly boiling point and their solubility. Here, alcohols you can consider, they have slightly higher boiling point when compared to ether. Why the boiling point of alcohols and phenols increase with increase in the number of carbon atoms, that is in straight chain. In a straight chain, as the straight chain increases, van der Waals force of attraction increases. Therefore, boiling point also increases. But the boiling point decrease with increase in the branching in the carbon chain. That means as the chain number of carbon atom increases, in straight chain increases, then boiling point increases. But when branch increases, then boiling point decreases because the decrease in van der Waals force with the decrease in surface area. As the branch increases, the shape of the molecule changes to spherical, then the area of contact is less, then van der Waals force of attraction is less, which decreases the boiling point. OH group in alcohols and phenols is involved in intermolecular hydrogen bonding. We just observe here intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Here alcohol and this is one more alcohol. The bond between or the force of attraction between oxygen atom of one alcohol and hydrogen atom of another alcohol, this type of force of attraction is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding, the force of attraction is strong. That's why they have very high boiling point. Here also you can same observe the structure. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Here also you can find intermolecular hydrogen bond. Due to that intermolecular hydrogen bonding, they have high boiling point. They have high boiling point. Ethanol. And this is ether. When you compare ether, in ether, since it cannot form hydrogen bond, the boiling point of ether is less than ethanol. This is methoxymethane, and you can consider this is propane. All the three, you just observe here. One is ethanol, C3CH2OH. That means C2H6O. Methoxymethane, C2H6O. Propane, C3H8. All the three, they have almost same molecular mass. You observe. Ethanol has the molecular mass is 46. Methoxymethane has the molecular mass is 46. Propane has the molecular mass is 44. That means our molecular mass is almost same. In the meantime, you can go for their boiling point. 351 is for ethanol, 248 is for methoxymethane, and 231 is for propane. The boiling point of propane is very, very less when compared to ether, and which is less than ethanol. Why? That is because the hydrogen bond. Here, ethanol forms intermolecular hydrogen bond, whereas methoxymethane does not form hydrogen bond, therefore its boiling point is less. And anyhow, propane doesn't form hydrogen bond, and as the molecule that do not form hydrogen bond, they have van der Waals force of attraction. That van der Waals force of attraction is less in the case of propane, therefore its boiling point is less. Though they have the molecular formula almost same. Here just observe the boiling point of alcohols and phenols are higher in comparison to other class of compounds, namely hydrocarbons and ethers, haloalkanes and haloarenes of comparable molecular mass. That's what I explained. 46, 46, 44. Molecular mass is almost same, but the boiling point is different. Ethanol, propane, they have comparable molecular mass, but the boiling point differ widely. Observe ethanol and the boiling point is 351 and ether its boiling point methoxymethane boiling point is 248 and propane boiling point is 231. The boiling point is you just observe from the data given here the boiling point differs. Why the boiling point differs? Because of the hydrogen bond. Boiling point of methoxymethane is intermediate of the two boiling points. High boiling point of alcohols are mainly due to the presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, and that is absent in ethers and hydrocarbons. Students, do remember the boiling point of alcohols are slightly higher. That is because they form intermolecular hydrogen bond, but ethers and other hydrocarbons, though they have almost same molecular formula, they do not form hydrogen bond. Hence, their boiling point is less.